Hi everyone, John Cottrell here of MBODY Yoga. Welcome. This is Power Hour Yoga. This is a 60-minute power vinyasa yoga practice. Glad you can be here. Let me just first say what we're going to be doing. I've called this class binds, tied up in knots. You know that feeling when you just feel so bound up, so tied up inside, and you need to release. So that's what we're going to be focusing on today. So I've put together a pretty unique sequence of poses that are just full of binds. But I also want you to pay attention not so much about how well you can get into the binds. That's not the goal. It's really about releasing yourself from the binds and just feeling the freedom of your own body and mind. So that's our intention. So you might want to use a prop for this, actually a couple of props, maybe a couple of blocks. There's a balancing pose in this practice, and some blocks might come in handy. Alrighty, so blocks, anything else that you want to use. A bolster, blanket, a yoga strap, anything like that. So this practice, like I said, is going to be full of binds, but it also has some twisting, some leg extensions, some balancing, and of course that experience of releasing yourself from binds. Alrighty, so let's go ahead and start. So go ahead and join me on your yoga mat. We're beginning in mountain pose, and we're standing with our feet about hip distance apart, toes forward, if that feels good for you. You can always take your feet out a little wider if you need to. Even turn your toes or feet outward just to feel a bit more comfortable in your own joints, your ankles, knees, and your hips. We just want to be able to stand nice and tall, come to stillness, and even take a few deep breaths in and out just to get reacquainted with your own breathing. You can breathe in through your nose. You can exhale through your nose or out through your mouth. Do that a couple times. Again, just a reacquaintance with your breath. And then just settle into slow, steady breaths in and out. Just bringing your whole body and mind to this moment, feeling fully present. A time to connect and move inward. And as you're taking these slow, steady breaths, you might create an intention for your practice. Maybe it's something that you are needing or wanting to release. A feeling, a belief, a sensation in your body like tension or tightness or soreness. Slow, steady breaths. And just bringing more awareness to your breathing. Maybe inhale and just feel the breath rising to fill up your lungs. Exhale to connect to your center. That's just your navel drawing in towards your spine. Feel that nice connection here. A little bit of a core engagement, just like you're flexing your muscles here. And again, inhale, just feeling very tall in the spine, breath rising to fill up your lungs. And your exhale to connect to your center or the abdominal lock. And take 3 more breaths, preparing your body to move. And when you're ready, inhale and extend your arms overhead. You can take your time with this and really treat this like a good stretch. Reach all the way up. Exhale, we'll fold forward, so a good hinge from your hips. Bend your knees as much as you need to, and maybe touching your toes. Inhale, slide your hands up to your knees or your thighs and extend your spine so you're long and flat, parallel to the floor. Then exhale and go ahead and fold again. Let's just hold here for a couple of breaths just to get this sensation of bowing, folding forward, noticing sensations in your legs, maybe your hamstrings here, and also down through your back. Do a little release of your head. Just shake your head, loosen it up a little bit, circle your shoulders, and that's certainly places where we hold binds, tension, soreness, your low back, neck, shoulders. From here, shift your weight back into your heels, bend your knees, look forward, take your arms out to the side, then inhale and stand up all the way. Another nice stretch, reaching for the ceiling. Exhale, bring your arms down by your side. Just pause, take a couple of breaths. We're going to do that same sequence once again. That's our half salute to the sun. Whenever you're ready, inhale, let's sweep the arms out and up, very tall. Exhale, leading with your heart, fold forward with soft knees. Make your way down. Inhale, rise up halfway, long flat back like a table. Exhale, fold. We're going to keep this moving right away. Bend your knees, Weight shifting back into the heels. Look forward, arms out to the side. Inhale, sweep the arms out and up. Get even taller. Exhale, arms down by your side. Let's hold here for a couple of breaths, just this reconnection. Deep breaths in and out. So we've introduced some movement to the body, and that movement is guided by breath. We're just going to keep adding on to this sequence. And as always, just do your very best. Modify whenever you need to, even rest whenever you need to. Here we go. Inhale, reach into the air. Exhale, swan dive forward. So we're moving into our sun salutation series A. Inhale, rise up halfway so the crown of your head leads you forward. As you exhale, bend your knees, round your spine. Bring your hands to the mat and step both of your feet back to the back end of your mat until you're in a straight line. Plank pose. Let's breathe in. Exhale, bend your knees a bit, send your hips up into the air. It's a shortcut to downward facing dog. Now you might need to tiptoe forward slightly with the feet. Stay on your toes. Keep the knees bent. And as the knees bend, send your hips up higher. Press your hands firmly into the ground so they feel firm, strong, and supportive. And straight arms. Couple of breaths. Let's get ready to move. Inhale to fill up your lungs. Begin your exhale, navel to spine. Walk, step, or hop both feet up to the top of your mat. Inhale to extend spine. Exhale, fold. Shifting weight into the heels. Bend your knees. Inhale, reverse your swan dive. Come all the way up. We're going to keep this moving. Reach into the air. This exhale, take chair pose or a chair-like position, sitting back as if there was a chair behind you. Inhale, reach out through your extended arms. Exhale, dive out of your seat, making your way back down towards your toes. Inhale, let's rise up halfway. Well, sometimes I'll call it monkey pose. Exhale, bend your knees, round your spine, hands to the ground, walk, step, or jump, both feet back, plank pose. Breathe in to draw that straight line. Exhale, bend elbows, lower your way down, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, upward facing dog. So we're pressing hands into the floor, straightening the arms, looking forward, opened chest. Exhale onto your toes, lifting hips into the air. Let's briefly pause in down dog. Situate yourself. Planted hands, strong straight arms, soft knees, lifted hips. Once you're in place, inhale, extend right leg up behind you, reaching long. Exhale, let's guide right foot to the top of the mat. Set it down next to your right hand. Left heel will turn to the floor behind you. Press firmly into the mat back there. Long spine over the thigh. Let's inhale, rise up, reach up into the air. It's warrior one. Exhale, we'll fold, hinging at the hips. Come back down to the ground. Plant your hands. Let's step back into plank pose. Bend elbows. Elbows squeeze in towards your ribs for good leverage as you come down. Inhale to your back bend. That's up dog. You can even choose cobra right there. Exhale, downward facing dog. Once again, situate yourself. Settle into the pose. Inhale, extend left leg up behind you, reach long. Exhale, left foot to the top of the mat now. Right heel plants into the ground. Long spine over the left thigh. Inhale, rising up, hinging from hips. Reach up into the air. First warrior. Exhale, hinge again, folding forward. Plant your hands. Step back, plank. Bend elbows, lower your body. Inhale, shoulders roll back as your heart opens, looking forward. And then your exhale, lifting hips into the sky. Downward facing dog. Pause for a few breaths. Okay, we're going to go to the mat here. We're going to take a seat. So you can just kneel down to take a seat, or you can hop forward, cross your legs and take a seat. Just be sure you're sitting in the center of your mat. Go ahead and lie down. Just going to move into bridge pose, just to open the front half of the body. Let's plant the feet firmly into the ground with the knees bent. Take a couple breaths here, just lying on the floor. Just settling into the ground. Then when you're ready, take a nice full breath in, filling up your lungs. Exhale, draw belly in, engaging your core muscles, and then lifting hips up into the air. And there's our bridge pose. You can get your shoulders underneath you if you'd like this. I like to bend elbows so I can press down into the mat with the elbows to help stabilize the body and lift up just a little bit more. We'll hold here for a few breaths. Feel the engagement in the body. Nice opening for the whole front side. Nice expansive feeling, because that's what we really want to feel as an expression of moving out of binds. All right, from here, just wiggle your toes forward slightly. Lift your arms up into the air or reach up into the air. Roll your way down to the ground. Let's stretch here. Extend your legs out front. Reach your arms behind you and just feel the body lengthening. And then bring both knees to chest. Start to rock forward and back. Re-engage your breathing. With a good exhale when you're ready, rock your way up to seated so we can come to boat pose. So we're leaning back at an angle with a straight spine. Lifted feet. You can always keep the knees bent here. Do activate the feet here just to keep them strong. Couple breaths. Don't forget that core engagement when you exhale. Couple more breaths here. Some of our postures today will involve some balancing. So core energy will certainly assist us. Let's breathe in. And exhale, cross legs, hands in front, hop or step back, plank pose. Hold. Let's just take a shortcut to down dog. Bend your knees, lift your hips into the air. Let's continue with our lunge sequence. Inhale, extend right leg up. Let's open this up. Bend your knee, bring your heel down towards your backside, lifting the knee slightly to get a bit of a twist and hip opener. Breathe in, and the exhale to unwind it, step through. Landing, left foot to the floor behind you, left heel to the floor behind you, fully planted. Then inhale, rise up, warrior one. Exhale, opening here to warrior two. Settle into your warrior. I like to take my feet out a little wider so I can lunge a little deeper. Hold for a second to arrive in the pose. And then right away to side angles. I'm going to reach forward, rotate the arms and reach up and down. Now when we do some of our binding postures, it really involves our arms. So we need to loosen up the shoulders a little bit. So let's start by taking this left hand down behind you and just bring it to low back perhaps. Let's just give this left shoulder a few circles just to loosen things up, maybe 2 or 3 times, and then hold it back to help open up through the chest. Meanwhile, this right hand is kind of braced against the right thigh. It's actually helping me to open the pelvic area. Let's inhale to re-extend, left hand up into the air. Turn so you can bring hands down to the ground. Step back, plank pose, strongly pause. Shortcut to down dog, bend knees, hips into the air. Let's do the same for the other side. When you're ready, inhale, extend left leg up, bend and twist. We'll bring the heel down towards backside, lifting the knee to create the twist and hip opener. Breathe in, and exhale to unwind it and step through. Left foot to the top of the mat. Right heel plants down behind you, feel strongly connected. Then float up, warrior one. Exhale, opening warrior two. Going a little wider, lunging a little deeper. Arms extended outward. Ready for side angle. Reach out, angled upper body, rotate the arms. Reach down, reach up. Feel this nice opening. Let's get into that shoulder. So we bring right hand down behind you to low back. And some circles with that right shoulder, maybe 2 or 3 times. Make sure it's nice and loose. Hold it back to help open up through the chest. A couple more breaths. Let's inhale to re-extend, right hand up into the air. Exhale, turn, hands to the floor. Step back, plank pose. This time we'll complete the series. Bend elbows, come down, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. Let's keep it moving. Full breath in, fill up your lungs. Exhale, engage core, walk, step, or hop both feet to the top of the mat. Inhale to extend spine. Exhale, fold. Weight shift into the heels, bend your knees. Inhale, reverse swan dive. Come all the way up, reach high. Exhale, arms down by your side. Excellent. Alrighty. All right, so we're just getting the body warmed up. We're moving, lots to do. That's why we're kind of moving quickly through these series. Let's get into some balancing. So tree pose, we'll start. I'm going to adjust my mat. You can get a sip of water if you need to. And then I'm going to try to mirror you here. So we're going to start by shifting weight into the right foot, root down into the ground. We want to feel nice and tall with an inhale, breath rising. Exhale to engage core. When you're ready, float left foot up, flexing the foot. Maybe thigh comes to parallel here. The knee swings out to the side for the hip opener, and then placing foot on the inside of your standing leg. So a tree pose. So inhale, reaching up into the air, good stretch. Exhale to hold. Don't forget to engage your core. So we're going to do a couple versions of this balance. So first it's tree. Let's just get into this posture, feel what's happening here. Now keep arms extended. We're going to swing that left knee forward, lifting knee with the flexed foot. Lift it a little higher so you can actually catch just below the knee, maybe catching the shin. Taking the knee out to the left side, just hold onto the leg and just swing it out to the side while the right hand reaches to the right side of the room. A little bit more. You're going to take this right palm, spin it so the palm's facing behind you. Bend your elbow, kind of like a scarecrow. Bring the hand behind you to low back right here. Then roll both shoulders back, just to open up the chest. Make sure you're flexing this left foot. That's it. Hold. So this is our second balance. Okay, let's release that back hand and reach up into the air. Let's bring this left knee forward, plant the foot into the ground, both arms up into the air, draw that straight line, and then both arms down by your side. Take a moment just to roll the shoulders, shake them out. Let's keep them loose. And let's do the other side. Whenever you're ready, start shifting weight into the left foot. Nice grounding connection there. Inhale to grow tall. Exhale, core connected. We'll float right foot up now. Flexing the foot, leg is strong, parallel to the floor, right here with the thigh. Swing the knee out to the side. Placing foot on the inside of the standing leg. I always default to my calf. You can go higher, you can certainly go lower. Inhale, reach up into the sky. And then our exhale, connecting navel to spine, our core engagement. Hold for several breaths. Find something to focus on out in front of you. I would consider this a nice opening posture. Nothing really binding in this area. All right, let's keep the arms extended. We'll swing right knee forward, lifting the knee with the flexed foot. Let's catch the knee with this right hand. Lift it a little higher. Take the knee off to the right side, just carrying it over there. Left hand off to the left side. Reach. Spin that left palm to the back of the room. Bend your elbow, scarecrow. Hand down behind you, low back. Roll shoulders back, open up through chest. Feel proud. Hold, focus. Breathe. We have a little bit of a bind happening since the hand is behind us here, and we're holding on to this leg. Okay, let's re-extend left hand up. Swing right knee forward, foot to the ground, both arms into the air, reach, arms down by your side. Perfect. And a little shake them out. All right, let's keep things moving. Here we go. Inhale, reach into the air. Exhale, swan dive. Inhale, monkey pose. Exhale, bent knees, hands to the floor, walk or step or jump back into plank pose. Come down if you like, chaturanga. You can always take the shortcut right away to down dog. Up dog or cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Let's just keep this moving. Inhale, extend right leg up, bend and twist, heel down, knee lifts. Unwind, step through. Right foot to the top, left heel plants into the ground. Make sure there's balance between both feet. Then inhale to float up, warrior one. Exhale, opening warrior two. Let's pause here. Now we might need a little bit more distance between the feet here. So I'm just kind of scooting my right foot more towards the front edge of the mat, my left foot towards the back end of the mat, and put a little bit more bend in this knee. Essentially, that's bringing me lower to the ground. Let's get those arms back out there. Reach out more, rotate arms. So I'm just trying to get this right hand a bit closer to the ground. It doesn't have to touch the ground. Essentially, I'm trying to get this elbow, right elbow, lower than the thigh. So actually, you might touch the ground. I have long arms. So the elbow might come down below the leg, and that's what we want here. As the left hand extends up in the air, I'm going to bring in a block just for a little extra stability there. Left hand down behind you, low back, 2 circles with the shoulder. Hold it back. All right, so we're deeper. Now you can stay just like this, but we're going to go for a bind, our first bind, full bind. So we're going to take this right arm, because the elbow is below the thigh, if you happen to be that low, reach underneath the leg and reach up. You can't see this. You'll see this when I get to the other side. I'm actually hooking a couple of my fingers back there. and still rolling this left shoulder back. Now it's okay if the fingers don't reach each other, okay? You can just pretend to reach and grab them. Or just keep this right hand down and left hand down at your low back. Inhale, re-extend the arms, floor to ceiling. Let's turn, bring hands to the floor. I'm gonna move my block. Step back, plank pose. Here, I'll just take a shortcut to down dog. You can do the same or go through the full series. Other side when you're ready. Inhale, left leg up, bend and twist. Unwind, step through. Going to warrior one. Plant that right heel down behind you. Firmly connected. Inhale, float up, warrior one. Exhale, opening warrior two. All right, settling in. Taking the feet much wider. Lunging deeper. Getting lower to the ground. Arms extended. Side angle, reach. Reach more if you're able. Rotate arms. Check in with where you are. If this is as far as you can go, stay here. At the moment, my left elbow is above the thigh. But if you can, just lean a little bit more, going down a little deeper, getting the elbow below the leg. Right hand comes down behind you to low back. Again, you can stay just like this. If you want to go for that full bind, if you're able, left arm reaches underneath this leg. And let's say you can't reach the fingers. That's okay. Just stay like this. But if you can, maybe hook a couple of the fingers together. Roll that right shoulder, trying to open up the chest to the right side of the room. Really feeling this bind. Lots of connections and sensations. Inhale, re-extend the arms. Turn, hands to the floor. Let's step back, plank pose, and chaturanga. Up dog, downward facing dog. Hold. Let's go for another seat. You can hop forward, cross legs, take a seat. This time we're going to extend the legs straight out front here. Right there. Flex the feet so the legs stay active. Hands on the floor by your hips, pushing into the floor to help extend spine. Roll shoulders back. Make sure your neck is nice and long here too. Couple breaths. This is staff pose. Then we're going to do a brief forward fold. We don't have to go too deeply with this. Make sure you feel that nice extension in the spine. Inhale, shoot both arms up. Exhale, hinge forward a bit and just bring the hands down to the legs. Mine are just landing at the shins. And some deep breaths here. I'm going to hinge a little bit more just until I feel that really nice stretch happening in the hamstrings. And it's about here for me. I can actually touch my toes, but it just feels comfortable just to rest my hands on my shins. Some deep breaths, just to allow that lengthening to occur in the legs, and trying to keep the legs as straight as can be, but if you need to put a bend in the knees, that's perfectly fine. All right, let's rise back up, just coming back up to our staff pose. Let's go for another bind. What we're going to do is let's bend the right knee and just keep the foot on the floor here, just like this. Now, my foot is just aligned next to the knee, and that's fine, but if you can bring this in closer to your hips, try that. And then for a little extra, hands on the floor, lift yourself up and scoot forward. So my heel is almost touching the buttocks here. All right, if that feels okay in the knee, you can take this depth. If that doesn't feel great, you can keep this foot farther forward. Lean over to the right side, just lean into the right hand. As you lean over that direction, take left arm way up, reach, and then reach out as if you're going to touch the toes. Reach forward. What we're trying to do is align this shoulder next to this bent knee. Take this right hand, it's your left hand, and spin it so it's reaching or facing outward. Then we're going to bend this elbow. We're basically just going to wrap this arm around the leg. Right here, it's not going very far, and maybe that's the end of the pose for you. It's okay if it can't get all the way around, but I'm going to give this a shot. Okay, so the arm, I'm trying to get all the way around, sit up a little taller so I can free up this right hand, but reach behind and see if I can hook fingers. Now, a prop really can come in handy. Maybe you do have a strap, but you know what would work great is actually just a hand towel. just something that would bridge the gap if you want to go for this bind. Okay, so the knee is bent, this left arm is wrapped around the bent left knee, right arm wrapped around behind you. I've got a couple of fingers hooked and just sitting up as tall as can be. Right there. All right, let's release. Bring both hands behind you, lean back, come to boat pose. We're just going to do another version of boat and just using the support of the hands behind you. Still want to have that extended spine sensation. Right there. Bring the feet back down. We're just going to do the other side. So we'll extend the left leg here. Like that, sit up tall. We're bending the right knee, bring it in. Okay, check in with the knee. Let's say this foot or this knee doesn't bend very much. Okay, and maybe this is the connection that you make. So left hand would just be on the floor over here. Right arm just reaches. And maybe you're just holding on. I'm just holding on to the ankle and shin. And maybe that's your bind. Okay? So you can always modify these poses. Okay, I'm just going to go for the fullness here as best as I can, lifting myself up, scooting forward, still leaning to my left, reaching right arm up. I'm just making space on that right side. Reach forward, shoulder, knee aligned. Spin this palm away, wrap around the shin as best as I can. And I'm still leaning on the left, but I'm going to kind of get back to the right so I can actually release this hand, left hand, reach behind. Let me see if I can find those fingers. Got them. And sit up nice and tall. Alrighty. So one of our first major binds. Actually our second bind, right? Because we did the side angle bind. A couple more breaths. Remember, if the fingers can't reach, that's okay. You can always use something to help bridge the gap. Let's go ahead and release that bind. Hands behind you. That other version of boat, just use your hands for balance, but make sure you're not slumped here like this, but lifting up through the chest. And let's flow. You're going to cross legs. Push forward, hands in front. Hop or step back, plank pose. Take a shortcut to down dog. Bend knees, hips into the air. Inhale. Exhale, jump, step, or walk, both feet up to the top of the mat. Stay on your feet. Inhale to extend spine. Exhale, fold. Stay here for a moment, just for a brief moment. Release the head and neck and shoulders. Weights in the heels, bend your knees, look forward, arms out to the side, then up as you stand up, reach into the air. Exhale, arms back down by your side. All right, let's pause here. We've done a few binds. But as we come back to mountain pose, a nice reopening of the body. So the breath is clear, full, and deep. If you need to, get a sip of water. And I'm going to adjust my mat again. It likes to move on my rug. Alrighty, now we're going to get into some more balance. And this is where you might want to use your blocks. Let's reposition the blocks actually in front of your mat up there, okay? You can even have several blocks for this. Okay, so just follow me and do your best. You know something else that might work very well? If you have a chair, just place a chair right there, and it gives you some nice height, okay? You'll see why in a moment. Okay, let's inhale, take both arms up. Exhale, swan dive, soft knees as you fold. All the way down. Inhale, monkey, so flat, long spine. Exhale, fold, but I'm going to bring my blocks in so I can just rest the hands on my blocks. Right here. Keeping the knees very soft, right there. But I'm shifting weight over into right foot, root, press. I'm putting some weight into the blocks, so my hands are really firmly connected to the blocks. And less weight is now on this left foot, so I can slide it back like a broom. Just sweep it back and up into the air like that. Okay? I'm going to kind of shift my blocks over to the right side because I'm just going to keep my right palm, right hand on the blocks. Remember, you can keep this, you can make this much higher, which I'm going to do. I just turn one of my blocks up, so much higher. Flex that left foot that's in the air. Flex it, that'll engage the leg and lift it. As it lifts, feel the pelvis start to turn towards the left side of the room, as well as your belly and chest. So we're going into half moon, extending left hand up into the air. I like to look down, helps me balance, because we're going to be holding this, because we're going to add a bind. Here's what we'll do. Bend the left knee,
Bring your heel towards back side. Bring your left hand down behind you to grab hold of the left ankle. Now, I'm reaching, but I can't find my foot. So here's a little cheat. Bend the left knee. I'm bringing it in towards my chin. Then I can really grab hold of this ankle, or yeah, the top of the foot. And then I'm going to take it back behind me. And there's my bind. Really opening up sideways. Do your best here. If you're just in half moon, just keep it at half moon, and maybe just bring left hand down behind you. Let's release. Re-extend the leg and arm. Turn towards the floor. Bring both hands to the blocks or the floor. Bend left knee. Bring it in towards chest. Let your back round. And bring the foot down. Okay, weights in the heels, bent knees. Let's reverse the swan dive. Come all the way up. Big stretch. Reach into the air. Arms back down. Okay, just coming back to that balance on 2 feet. Freedom in the body, so you can take deep breaths. All right, so we're just moving into a half moon that we're binding. All right, we're getting ready for the other side. Do your best. Here we go. Inhale, reach into the sky. Exhale, swan dive. Inhale, monkey, sliding hands up the legs. Exhale, fold, but place hands on blocks. I'm already moving my blocks over towards left side. Keep that softness in the knees, feet firmly planted into the floor. But start shifting that weight into left foot. Sweep your yoga mat with your right foot. Slide it back until it lifts up into the air. You can even point your toes to give it some lift. Okay? Got the blocks on left side, left palms on the block. I'm turning my block up higher so I can lift up a little higher. Let's flex the right foot that's lifted. Flex it. Lift the leg. Start to turn towards the right side of the room. Right hand's reaching towards the ceiling. I notice that I'm not as steady on my left leg as I am on my right. So I feel a lot of wobbling. I'm going to bend the right knee, bring the heel towards back side, reach back. I think I can catch it this time. No, well, there it is. But you can do that same trick of bringing the knee towards chest, catch the ankle or the top of the foot, and then take that leg back behind you. Nice opening of the chest as best as you can towards the right side of the room. We're going to release and re-extend. Turn, bring hands down to the blocks or floor. Bend right knee, bring it in towards chest, let the back round. Plant the foot. Stay in forward fold. Move your blocks slightly out of the way, but it's still accessible. Monkey pose. We're going to flow here. Exhale, hands to the mat. Walk, step, or jump. Both feet back. Plank. Come down. Chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, extend right leg straight up. Keep it straight. Right foot to the top of the mat. We're going to high lunge. High lunge. So left heel stays lifted. All 10 toes are pointing forward, but find that balance. Then rise. High lunge right here. Hold. Hug inner thighs towards each other. Reach into the air with the arms. Now we're going to straighten both legs. Just lift yourself up to straighten both legs. Pivot left heel to the floor. Turn sideways. Arms come down to parallel. So this is a prep for triangle. Let's go ahead and take triangle. Reach out over the right leg. Reach. Rotate the arms. Right hand can land anywhere along the leg. Mine just kind of lands at the knee right here. Left hand reaching up. Just another nice opening through the whole body and a nice hamstring stretch. We've already initiated a hamstring stretch with that seated position. This is just emphasizing it. A couple more breaths. Nice opening. Feel this release. To come out of the pose, stay just as you are, but bend the right knee, a deep lunge into a side angle. Turn, bring hands to the floor. Step back, plank pose, hold. Shortcut, down dog. Let's do the other side, same thing. Inhale, left leg up, keep it straight. Exhale, left foot to the top of the mat, high lunge. Right heel stays lifted, balance between both feet. Long spine. Inhale, rise up, reach up. Exhale, lunge, hold, hug to center line, belly, legs, and arms. Both legs will probably be bent. but then straighten the legs, lift. Pivot right heel to the floor. You'll turn sideways. Arms come down to parallel, prepped for triangle. And then move into triangle. Reach out over the left leg. Rotate the arms. Left hand just resting somewhere along the left leg while the right hand reaches up. Take some breaths. Freedom in the body. No binds here. To come out of the pose, we'll start by bending the left knee, lunging into a side angle. Another breath in. Exhale, turn, hands to the floor, step back, plank. You can finish that whole sequence or do that shortcut. Meeting up again in down dog. Let's take another seat. Hop forward, cross legs, take a seat, or just kneel down to take a seat. Let's go ahead and extend the legs again. Staff pose. More freedom in the body when we get all these extensions and opening within. Because we're getting into another bind that's going to be a bit of a twist. Couple breaths here in staff. Flexed feet, shoulders back, spine long. All right, let's relax a little bit. Lean back, bend the knees, and just keep your heels on the floor like that. So we're just bending the legs. We're just making a little space underneath the legs. Take your right leg, okay? Actually, take your right foot like it was a boat going underneath the bridge. So it's going to go underneath the bridge right there. And the right knee will come down to the ground. Your right knee will be pointing directly forward. Left foot, you're going to step over this right knee. Hands on the ground just to lift and resit. So you just feel very tall here. Use your hands to help hold onto the shin so you can sit up nice and tall. All right, here comes the bind. This left hand's going to come behind you. Keep pressing into the floor to help you stay tall. Right arm extends up, inhale. Exhale, twist to the left a little bit. And this right elbow is going to come to the outside of the knee, like that. Now this is about as far as I'm going to take this. If you're able, you can make this even more of a bind. Okay, I'll try to demonstrate it. I can't get into the full posture. So basically, I'm going to drop this arm and it wraps around this knee, okay? And the left hand reaches back behind you to grab the fingers. You see, I can't really do this, okay? But if you can get into that bind, you're certainly welcome to. Or even something like this. Or even just holding onto the knee, creating the, or just hug the knee. This is a nice way to do it, like this. Alrighty. Let's release that arm. Both hands behind you, lean back so you can uncross the leg. Here's that variation of boat. Lift up through the chest. Set the heels down. Left foot. That's our little boat going underneath the bridge. Left knee comes to the floor, pointing directly forward. Right foot steps over the left knee. Both hands on the mat to lift and resit. So you can sit up nice and tall. Hold onto the shin to help that extension. Right hand behind you, pushing into the ground to help you extend spine. Left arm extends up maybe. Start to twist to the right. Maybe elbow can come to the outside of the knee. But let's say you can't make it. You can just hug. Hug the knee, which is what I'm going to do. Just hug the knee. We got a bit of a bind and a twist. And because of the leg situation here, it's a nice bit of a hip opener too. Couple more breaths. All right, start to unwind, re-extend that left hand forward, and then maybe behind you, lean back into the hands, lean back so you can lift the legs, re-extend for our variation of boat. Cross legs, push yourself forward, hands in front, hop or step back plank. Let's come down this time, chaturanga, up dog, and downward facing dog. All right, we've got another balance to do with a bind. Here we go. Inhale, extend right leg up, bend and twist. Unwind, step through. We're going to warrior one. Left heel plants into the ground. Rise up, first warrior. Exhale, open, warrior two. Go wide in the feet. Lunge deeply, right into your side angle. Getting as low as you can. Left hand comes behind you. You can keep it like this, or if you can, bind. Finding fingers, or grab your hand towel or strap. Hold for a breath or two. We're going to keep the bind. Hold on to the towel or keep the fingers hooked. See if you can follow me. We're going to bird of paradise. It's a standing balancing pose. Look down at the floor near your right foot. We need to place the left foot up there so you can start stepping this left foot to the top of the mat next to the other. Once it's there, start to shift and put weight into the left foot. Keep the knees bent. You're still in a bind. Look down. Exhale to engage your core. Lift. Pick yourself up. So this right foot's lifting. Once you're about halfway up, look up or look forward. Roll shoulders back. You can extend this right leg. All right, now if you've lost your bind, you can release this left hand. I'm going to turn this way so you can see this. Okay, bring left hand behind you to low back and catch the right shin, like so. Okay, we did this earlier, remember this? So this is the alternative to that balancing posture of bird of paradise. Release the bind, place foot on the inside of the left leg, both arms up into the air, just coming to tree pose. Okay? Swing that right knee forward, plant the foot down, arms down by your side. All right, let's go through the other side so we can see if we can put that together. So you have two versions of that bind. So as we're moving our way into bird of paradise and you lose that bind, use that variation. Here we go. Reach up into the air. Exhale, swan dive. Monkey pose. Exhale, plant hands. Hop or step back, plank. Come right down, chaturanga. Up dog. And downward facing dog. Inhale to extend left leg up into the air. Bend and twist. Unwind, step through. Going to warrior one. Opening warrior two. Let's take those feet a little wider. Lunge a little deeper. Side angle, really reach out, rotate arms. Reach up and down. Right hand comes down behind you. Stay here, okay, because you can still get into the pose. Or getting lower, bind, here's my hooked fingers, or grab that towel. Hold for a couple breaths. Keep hold of the bind. Look down at the floor. Start stepping this right foot up to the top of the mat next to the other. You'll basically be a bound forward fold. Put weight into the right foot. Still bound here. Right foot pressing into the ground. Exhale, engage core. Lift. Okay, that left leg is just kind of hooked around the left arm here as you're standing. Whoa, losing balance. There we go. Nice and tall. Shoulders roll back. Look forward. And if you can extend this left leg. If you lost the bind, come to the alternative pose. If you can't fully extend the left leg, that's okay. My knee is bent. It's just partially extended. Release the bind. Tree pose. Left foot plants on the inside of the right leg. Both arms up into the air. A nice freedom of the body. Out of that bind into the freedom of the tree. Arms stay extended. Swing left knee forward. Plant the foot. Just bring the arms down by your side. Alrighty. How you doing? Alrighty. I think it's time to start putting things together. I think we've got all of our elements. Do your best, just follow along. This starts in mountain pose. Let's hold here and take a few breaths in and out. Settling in. Remember, we're moving into binds, but also experience the freedom of your body from those binds. Here we go. Basic flow. Inhale, reach into the air. Exhale, swan dive. Inhale, monkey pose. Exhale, hands to the floor. Hop or step back, plank pose. Come on down, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. All right, before we get into the full sequence, actually we have one more thing I want to show you, okay? So let's go ahead and extend right leg up. Straight leg, right foot to the top of the mat. Stay here in this runner's lunge, left heel lifted behind you. Bring in those blocks again, okay? So right in front of you. Get your hands on the blocks. Start shifting weight into right foot, because you're going to kind of shift weight into right foot and kind of kick this left leg up into the air. Okay, just hold just like this for a moment. All right. I've got a hold of my blocks. I'm stepping my blocks forward. So I want to do that because I want to be able to lift my left heel. Can you lift your left heel? All right, stay like that. You're on your tiptoes basically. Bend the left knee. Now, we're bringing this left knee down to the floor, behind or on the right side of the right foot. Do you see how I'm kneeling? You can watch me if you need to. So I really actually just brought this right heel down, bent the left knee, but brought the knee down just to the other side of the right foot. Bring hands behind and sit. And look, I'm basically in that bound or bound position with the legs, and then I can take this into my rotation, my twist here, to the right. Unwind, boat, cross legs, hands in front, hop back, plank, shortcut down dog. Let's try that on the other side. I know this is very different. Extend left leg up. Left foot to the top of the mat. We're in a runner's lunge, right heel lifted. Bring in those blocks. Shift so you can balance on left foot. Kick that right leg up into the air. I'm stepping the blocks forward a little bit, so I'm getting more weight towards the toes. Bend the right knee. Bend both knees, but I'm basically just kneeling. So I'm bringing this right leg down to the floor, just on the left side of that left ankle. Hands behind me so I can catch and sit. So there I am, ready for the twist. Other side. All right, we are going to be putting that into the sequence. Did you get it? Mm-hmm. Unwind, boat pose. Cross legs, hands in front. Hop back plank. You can do the full series here if you like. All right, let's go back up to mountain pose. With a good exhale, walk, step, or jump both feet forward to the top. Monkey pose. Exhale, fold. Weights in the knees, weights in the heels. Bend your knees, rise up nice and tall. Arms down by your side. Now we'll take it through our sequence, but hold for a moment. Deep breaths. Binds into the opened freedom of the body. Here we go. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, swan dive. It's a basic flow. Monkey pose, inhale. Exhale, hands to the floor. Hop or step back, plank pose. Come down if you like. Chaturanga. You can always skip these. Up dog. Just do your best. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, extend right leg up. Bend and twist. Unwind, step through. Warrior one. Basic flow. Left heel plants into the floor. Rise high. Warrior two. More distance between the feet. Warrior two into side angle. Reach up, reach down. Go for the bind. Left hand down behind you. See if you can go to that full bind. Use a towel or strap. All right, bound side angle into bird of paradise. Look down. Left foot steps up to the top of the mat. Put weight into the left foot. Keep the knee bent. Exhale, stand. Take your time, nice and tall. Roll shoulders back, look forward. Use the alternative if you need to. Okay, so we're in a standing balancing bind. Release the bind, tree pose. Feel the freedom of the body in tree. All right, keep arms extended. Swing right knee forward, lift knee, flexed foot. We're going to step back into a high lunge. Yes? So both knees are bent here, high lunge, but then Rise up to straighten the legs. Pivot, open, prepped for triangle. Take triangle. All right, getting out of the pose, we're bending the left knee, lunging into a side angle. Turn, bring hands to the floor, rise up onto tiptoes behind you. Now we're just going to do exactly what I just showed you. Bring in those blocks. Basically, I'm going up to balance on left foot. Kick that right leg up into the air. Actually, we need to get into our half moon first. Flex the right foot. Lift, extend. Opening up towards the right side of the room, right hand in towards the ceiling. Bend the knee. Reach back. Can you find that ankle or foot? There's our bind, half moon. Release, extend leg and arm. Turn, bring hands to the blocks. Lean forward a little bit more, getting weight towards the toes of the left foot. Bend the right knee. We're going to kneel. Bring the right knee down to the floor just to the left side of the left foot. Hands behind you so you can catch yourself. Sit. Ready for the twist. Twist to your left. With a bind. Remember, this left leg is bent. We need that for the next pose. Unwind, hands behind you, lean back, uncross legs, freedom of the body. Left foot comes down, bent knee, right leg extends out front. Sit up tall, extend left arm up, reach forward. Remember this bind? Shoulder to knee, wrap left arm around. Right hand behind, clasp fingers, second bind in that seated pose. Getting ready to free up the body again. Lean back, boat, lift up through the chest, cross legs, hands in front, hop or step back, plank, chaturanga, up dog, downward facing dog. That is our sequence. Other side, here we go. Left leg up. Bend and twist. Unwind, step through. Warrior 1. Warrior 2. Wide stance here. Side angle. Reach up and down. Bind, right hand down behind you. See if you can bind fingers. Look at the floor. With a good exhale, bring right foot to the top of the mat. We're going to bird of paradise. Keep right foot planted. Exhale, start to stand. Lift, flex the left foot. That'll give you some good energy there too. Look forward, shoulders roll back. Maybe extend this left leg. Use the alternative if you need to. Feel the bind. Release the bind. Tree. Reach. The freedom of the tree. Arms stay extended, left knee turns forward, lift knee, flexed foot. We're stepping back into a high lunge. Straighten the legs, lift up tall. Open, prep for triangle. Take triangle, reach, rotate. Almost there. Bend the right knee, lunge. Breathe in. Exhale, turn, hands to the floor. Rise up onto tiptoes behind you. Bring in those blocks. Shift to balance on right foot. Kick that left leg up into the air. Flex the left foot. Lift it so you can start to open up sideways. Half moon. And then bind it. Bend the left knee. Can you reach back? Even if you're not even grabbing hold, that's okay. Use the trick to grab the foot if you're able. Release, re-extend. Turn, bring hands to the blocks. Lean forward a bit more, weights in the toes. Bend the left knee. Remember, we're going to kneel. Bring that left knee down to the ground. Hands behind you so you can take a seat. And here we are, ready for that bind. Okay, we're in the cross-legged position here. Twist to your right. Couple breaths here. Remember, the right leg is bent. We're going to unwind, lean back, boat, Freedom from the bind. Right foot to the floor, extend left leg. Nice and tall. Right arm extends up, reach forward, bind. Wrap around that right knee. Excellent. Unbind. One more boat. Bring the feet to the floor. Find your center on the mat. Roll down onto your back. Hug knees into chest. All right, check in with breath. Let's take a quick twist to both sides. I didn't give you a whole lot of time for Shavasana. That was a pretty dynamic sequence. But let's do a quick twist here. So knees to the left, right arm to the right. A couple breaths here, just to bring some relief to the back and hips. Whenever you're ready, you can come back up to center. And knees to the other side. And a few breaths here. Continue to check in with breath. Hopefully you're able to take slow, deep breaths. Mindful of what you just did. Pretty dynamic practice. We did a whole lot and packed into that short hour. All right, bring knees back up to center. Give yourself a well-deserved hug here. And then extend the legs out front. Arms can come down by your side. Take a nice full breath in, like you're filling yourself up. Exhale, melt right down into the ground. Freedom of the entire body. Ridding self of distractions, whether it's thoughts and feelings, sensations in the body. So you can just feel this sense of complete freedom. Slow, steady breaths as you feel the calming effect of this posture. Stay here as long as you need to. Even as I end the practice, you can stay right here in Shavasana. And when you are ready to move, just take 5 slow, deep breaths. And after your 5th breath, feeling movement return to your body, then carefully roll onto either side, perhaps in a nurturing pose. Take a breath or two here. And continue to move as slowly as you can. Rise up to seated. Come to a comfortable seated position. Maybe with legs crossed. Nice lengthened spine. Shoulders relaxed, arms down by your side, hands in your lap. Take a breath. Find stillness. We'll just add one more movement very simply. Inhale, extend your arms out and up. And when you exhale, bring your hands together and down to your heart. And once again, find stillness in this space. Freedom of mind and body. And as we come to the close of this portion of our practice together, we bow saying, Namaste.